Joined now by Steven Olikara from the Millennial Action Project. And Steven, let's get straight to it. We have two groups who see each other on opposite sides. How can they develop empathy for one another?
Well, it's great to see both of you. Thanks for having me. I often use a jazz analogy to describe this process because I grew up here as a jazz musician before I founded Millennial Action Project. And the number one skill in jazz is listening. And listening is all about activating our empathy. And that's a choice we make every day. And too often we're conditioned by so many forces in politics to hate and have contempt for the other side. The second thing is in jazz, we talk about improvisation. In politics, it's about reframing and using our creativity to look at issues in a new way. At Millennial Action Project, it's not about left versus right. It's about future versus the past. And then the third thing, in jazz, it's a call and response art form. In politics, it's about building coalitions and having a real live conversation with people. So those are some of the important things that we can all do. And I think we also have to advocate for structural reforms. That's why I'm a big believer in changing the money and politics system and changing some of the voting systems so we can actually have a process that incentivizes cooperation over conflict.
Yes, Stephen, money in politics, that's a heavy lift, and many have tried in the past. We have just about a minute left. So give me an idea. In 2021, we're going to have a new president. There's going to be a lot on his agenda. Is there a certain policy, a certain idea that you think people can rally around?
Well, I think one really great example is one that we've been starting to build here in Wisconsin, and that's around bipartisan criminal justice reform. You saw under the current administration, the First Step Act, which was a first step to changing some of the sentencing laws and avoiding some of the overcrowding of prisons. And now there's an opportunity for a second step, which I think Joe Biden and his administration would support. Lots of bipartisanship around that. And the important thing is it's not about finding the least common denominator. It's finding arguments on both sides that move us to a better place. So not a dilution, an evolution.
All right, Stephen, we appreciate your perspective, opening us to new opportunities and listening. If you want to learn more about the Millennial Action Project, you can go to TMJ4.com/link.